हरि ओम। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णुवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गाये नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। शङ्करं परमानन्दं ब्रह्मनिष्ठं यतीश्वरं भाष्यभ्रान्तिहरं वन्दे शुद्धज्ञानैकबोधकम्। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वती पतये। हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। We'll begin with the Shanti mantra. ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्षो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। हरि ओम। We shall chant from the first mantra of the third section. अथ हैनं कौसल्यश्चाश्वलायनः पप्रच्छ भगवन् कुत एष प्राणो जायते कथम् आयाति अस्मिन् शरीरे आत्मानं वा प्रविभज्य कथं प्रातिष्ठते केन उत्क्रमते कथं बाह्यम् अभिदत्ते कथम् अध्यात्ममिति। तस्मै स होवाच अति प्रश्नान् पृच्छसि ब्रह्मिष्ठोऽसीति तस्मात् तेऽहं ब्रवीमि आत्मना एष प्राणो जायते यथैषा पुरुषे छाया एतस्मिन् एतत् आततं मनोकृतेन आयाति अस्मिन् शरीरे. So now Kaushalya, the son of Ashvalayana, approached Rishi Pippalada and asked his question. He Bhagwan, ki esha prana, kuta esha prana jayate. That from where is this prana born? We have seen the glories of prana, most amazing. Everything is sustained in prana. Everything functions because of prana. So the question is from where this prana has come. And katham ayati asmin sharire. How does it come in this body? The prana is present everywhere, but the prana is present in fivefold as prana, apan, vyan, udan, saman in this body. So something special is there about this body. That the prana has entered this body and divided itself into five. So what brings the prana in this body? Then the third question, Atmanam va pravibhajya katham pratisthate. How does it divide itself into five and how does it establish itself in this body? And kena utkramate. And because of what does it leave this body? Why does it leave this body and go? But a time comes when the prana leaves this body and go away. So what is the reason? Kena utkramate. Katham bhagyam abhidatte. And how does the prana hold everything outside in this vast cosmos? How does it sustain everything which is there in this entire cosmos? And katham adhyatmam, and how does it hold everything within in this body? So these are the questions. All questions are related. So these are questions related to prana. So the Rishi, when he heard this question, he said, Ki tasmai saho vacha ati prashnan pruchasi. You are asking ati prashna. You are asking a very sublime question, which is not easy to comprehend. Even the Shastras, they don't give any detailed explanation of how prana of this world has come from that supreme reality. It is a great mystery. So this question is Ati Prashna. But the Rishi says, you are Brahmishtaha, you are well established in Brahma. you are well established in the teachings of the Vedas, you have Shraddha. Therefore, I will teach you. Then the Rishi gives the answer कि आत्मनः एष प्राणो जायते. This prana is born from Atma. That one supreme reality is called Atma, is called Brahma, is called Satyam. These are various names of that supreme reality. Atmanha Parasmat Purushat, it is also called Param Purusha. Aksharat, it is also called Akshar. Satya, it's also called Satya. From this Akshara, Satya, Param Purusha, Atma, this Prana is born. There are nothing can be equated to this great miracle. See, just like when we are awake, we can see this vast world. When we are dreaming, again we continue to see the world created by our own mind. But when we are in deep sleep, there is no experience of the world. There is no experience of the seer of this world. I remain there as Sat, as pure existence alone. Nothing is there. No duality, no movement, nothing except that Sat. Then very mysteriously from that Sat, dream comes into existence. And then from the dream we wake up. So how from that Sat, the dream word has come, nobody can tell. There is a very famous sutta in the Vedas called Nasadiya Sutta, in which the Rishi exclaims that how this whole vast world has come, we cannot tell. Who can tell? Is there anyone who knows about it? It's a big mystery, great wonder. But it is there. It is due to the Achintya Shakti of that Supreme Brahma, the mysterious, wonderful world emerges. So Atmanaha Esha Prano Jayate. The prana is born from Atma. The source of this prana is Atma alone. The vast world which is established in prana, that prana itself is born from Atma. In fact, to recognize this Atma or recognize Brahman, we take the support of the world only. In Brahma Sutra also, the sutra begins with the pledge of inquiring into Brahma. Athato Brahma Jidnyasa. Now let us inquire into the nature of Brahma. And then the second sutra says, Janmadyasya yataha. Who is this Brahma? What is this Brahma? Brahma is that from whom the world is born, the world is sustained, and the world gets dissolved. That is Brahma. So it's great mystery, and here the teacher gives an example, a drishtanta, to make us understand how the prana is born. He says, Yatha esha purushe chhaya. Just as from a person the shadow is born. Shadow is so mysterious. We can see sometimes when we are standing out in the open, the sun is right on top of our head. We don't see any shadow. Then, as the sun starts setting, we see the shadow as though emerging out of our feet, and it keeps on growing. It grows and grows, gets longer and longer. And the shadow has got head and hands and legs. In fact, from the shadow, one can also tell the time of the day also. There are those sundials. From the sundials, we can tell what is the time, depending on the shape and the direction of the shadow. So, the shadow emerges from this body. It is sustained by the body and it merges back into the body. This body doesn't depend on the shadow, but the shadow depends on this body. Shadow exists because of the body. And in a mysterious way, the presence of the body is there in the shadow. From the shadow, one can infer the presence of the body. In the same way, the prana is born from the Supreme Atma. Prana depends on that Atma. Prana keeps functioning, making everything happen in this entire world. Prana is born, prana is sustained, and prana gets dissolved. So there is change happening in prana. Therefore, it is called asatyam, means it is changing existence. It exists all the time, but constantly changing. And I, that Atma or Brahma exist without any change. Chaya. Chaya is not only, the meaning of the word chaya is not only shadow, but another meaning of the word chaya is also reflection. You see, in a mirror, the reflection happens, and the reflection is sustained in the mirror, and the reflection again disappears into the mirror. In Sri Dakshinamurti Stotram, this beautiful example is given. Vishwam darpana drishyamana nagari tulyam nijantargatam पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यत् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमेदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतम्. This entire Vishwa, which is sustained by Prana, this whole Vishwa is like a reflection of a city seen in a mirror. The Atma is like a mirror. Pashyan Atmani Mayaya Bahirivodbhutam. And because of the power of that Atma Maya, it appears as though it is outside. The whole thing is in me only. I am the Atma. Everything is happening in me. But it appears as though it is happening outside. I am here and the world is there. So it's so mysterious. Pashyannatmani mayaya bahirivodbhutam yatha nidraya. Just like in a dream, the whole dream happens in me. But I feel as though it is happening outside. So when the reflection moves, the mirror doesn't move. The reflection has activities happening, but no activities are happening in the mirror. When the reflection is born, nothing changes in the mirror. When the reflection is sustained, nothing happens to the mirror. The mirror doesn't have to put forth special effort to sustain the reflection. And when the reflection merges back into the mirror, nothing happens to the mirror. Mirror remaining same. Mirror remaining without any change. The play of the reflection happens. In the same way, Atma remaining same, Satyam Jnanam Anantam, Nirvikaram, Avyaktam, the play of the world happens. So beautiful, most amazing, most fascinating play of the world we see, and play of life also we see on earth. All this happens in that Atma. And everything finally merges back into Atma. So Atmana Esha Prano Jayate, this Prana is born from Atma. Etasma Jayate Pranaha Manas Sarvendriyani Cha. In Mundaka Upanishad also, it was revealed that this Prana is born from that supreme Akshara Brahma. Then the question is, Chaya. So, Yatha Esha Purushe Chaya. Just as from this person, the shadow or the reflection. Etasmin etad atatam. The whole reflection or the shadow is sustained in this Atma, in this person. See, when you see a shadow of a person on the ground, you can understand the shape, the form of that person roughly. you know the presence of that person. You definitely know that the person exists because the shadow exists. Shadow is existing. Shadow is not mithya. Shadow exists. Therefore, that person also exists. From the shadow, we can arrive at that person. If you trace back the source of the shadow, you will come at the feet of that person. Similarly, if we seek the source of this entire creation, we will reach the feet of the Supreme Brahma. The nature of the shadow is different from the nature of that person. But the shadow has come from that person alone. The nature of the prana is different from the nature of Brahma. Brahma is satyam, prana is asatyam, changing. So chaya etasmin etad atatam. And why does it come in particular body? How come this prana has come in this body? This body which is made up of all the material put together, and the prana sustains this body. Just like we make a doll from various materials, a beautiful doll is made, and then we put a battery inside the doll, then the doll starts moving and all. Similarly, this body is made up of the various material taken from this world. The Pancha Mahabhut, Pancha Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, Antakaran Chatushtaya. But this whole, all this material is held together and it functions because of the presence of prana. So the question is, what brings that prana in this body? And why does it remain in this body for some time? So here the Rishi answers, कि manokrutena ayati. The prana comes in this body as a result of the karma performed by our mind. Whatever karmas we have performed, we perform various karmas with a sense of doership, and those karmas create impressions within. And based on those impressions, we get a particular body and we live in that body, experiencing the joys and sorrows which are the results of our karma. So we have gained this body, we have attained this particular environment of our family, of our friends, of our relatives, of our followers on Facebook and YouTube. All this world which I have attained is the result of my karma. Just as in Kathopanishad, Yamrajji says, we get the next birth based on our karma and our knowledge. Yatha karma, yatha shrutam. As per our karma and as per our knowledge, as per our conviction, as per our shraddha, we get a new birth. See, when we live our entire life and when we are about to die, when we are lying on the death bed, our karmendriyas, they slowly start packing up. They are they enter the mind, antakkaran. Then the jnanendriyas also start packing up and they enter the mind. Then the mind also is enters the prana, and prana, taking the heat as a shield, leaves this body. We have seen in detail about how the prana, along with the senses and mind, leaves the body in Chandogya Upanishad. So before leaving this body, there is what is called prana vritti, uh, vag vritti, prana vritti, and mano vritti happens. And based on this prana vritti, vag vritti, and mano vritti, we get the next birth. Means whatever activities, whatever actions we have done, the samskars which we have, the vasanas we have accumulated, the karmas which we have performed, it forms a sort of a seed, a structure before we leave this body. And based on that, we get the next birth. Either we go to some other higher worlds or lower worlds, or immediately are born in some other life form, animal, bird, plant, or a human being. So we come into this body because of the karmas performed by our mind. So mano krutena ayati. All the samskars are there present in our antakkaran. All the vasanas are present in the antakkaran. So mano krutena ayati asmin sharire. We come because of our karmas in this particular body. So having come into this body, the pranas having come into this body, thereafter what happens? In the next mantra, the Rishi says, Yatha samrad eva adhikratan viniyukte etan graman aditishthasva इति एवं एव एष प्राण इतरान् प्राणान् पृथक् पृथक् एव सन्निधत्ते. Again, यथा सम्राट् एव अधिकृतान् विनियुक्ते एतान् ग्रामान् अधितिष्ठस्व इति एवं एव एष प्राण इतरान् प्राणान् पृथक् पृथक् एव सन्निधत्ते. So when the pranas enter this body, what does it do? It says, Yatha samrat eva adhikratan viniyukte etan graman adhitishtasva. Just like a king, when he enters a kingdom, he appoints the various officers and various other workers in their respective places. So Yatha Samrat Eva Adhikratan Viniyukte, appoints them. The king himself doesn't do all the work, but he appoints people the officials to do the various activities necessary to keep the kingdom functioning. Similarly, when the prana enters this body, it appoints the various officials. So, like the king, etan graman, adhitishthasva, the king tells the adhikaris that you stay in this village, you take care of this village, you are responsible for all the activities of the village. Hmm? Then the other adhikari is appointed in some other village. Nowadays also we have this government and the governing system. So there are the different categories are there. The top adhikari will be there, then below him there will be many other adhikaris, and each one of them is given their responsibility, and they have to fulfill their responsibilities. They have to report to the higher boss, and when everyone does their work, the whole country or the whole unit functions in a very systematic way. So this our body is like a huge grand organization. We have talked about this before also. It is not made up of just one unit. There are various parts which are put together to make this body function. It's most amazing, absolutely miraculous. Even if we get some sort of cut on our body, immediately all the mechanism starts working to correct it. The blood should not ooze out. So immediately the blood gets coagulated there, and all the cells and all they work. The white corpuscles and all they start working. So many things happen, and it starts healing. If one organ doesn't function properly, the other organ takes over and does the work of that organ. So many things are there. It's a very complex, highly complex mechanism. And who is the boss of this? Who is the chief, CEO of this vast company? It's Prana. Prana is the main. So just as the king appoints the different adhikaris, the prana also appoints different pranas. So etan graman aditishtasva iti evam eva esha prana itaran pranan prutak prutak eva sannidatte. So prana appoints other pranas, prana, pan, vyan, udan, saman, and who makes all the functioning of the senses and all possible. So the senses are also indirectly called prana. So esha mukhya pranaha itaran pranan chakshuradi atma bhedascha pratak pratak eva yatastanam sannidatte viniyukte. So the eyes, ears, nose, they are given their respective places. The eyes are given this place where it can stay and do all its activities. The eyes cannot stay in the ears and do the activities. Eyes have to stay here only. So this is the Golaka, where the organ of perception stays there and who is appointed by the prana. See, when the death comes, the prana pulls all these senses away from their respective places and takes them with it. But when it comes, it appoints them and gives them their respective places to function. So here, the sense of hearing is here, the sense of smelling is here in the nose. So they are given their respective places and are given the responsibility to work from there. And because of that only, the entire mechanism of this body happens very systematically. So mysterious. Therefore, in the Vedas, we have this what we call Ayurveda, which has studied or it has given the knowledge of how this mysterious body functions. What are the things which are there which keeps the balance? The Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and how they are balanced. How the five elements are balanced in this body. Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jal, Prithvi. If there is any imbalance, then the whole thing goes little haywire. So that is how the pranas, they enter the prana enters the body, divides itself into five, appoints all these senses, and it's fivefold pranas in different places to do their respective work. So what are the details? Those details are now described in the next mantra. Let us chant. Mantra number 5. Payopasthe panam chakshusrotre mukhanasikaabhyam pranah swayam pratisthate madhe tu samanaha esha hetat hutam annam samam nayati tasmad eta samartisho saptartisho bhavanti पायोपस्थे पानम चक्षुश्रोत्रे मुखनासिकाभ्याम प्राणस्वयं प्रातिष्ठते मध्ये तु समानः एष हेतद्भूतम् अन्नं समं नयति तस्माद् एता सप्तार्चिषो भवन्ति पायोपस्थे पानम. Prana is one, but it divides itself into 5 within this body. 5 mean according to its function. So there is what is called apana, prana, apana, samana, vyana, and udana. These are the 5 different facets of this prana. So this apana, the Rishi is talking about apana first. Ki payu upasthe apanam. In the payu and upastha. Payu is the organ of excretion, and upastha is the organ of urination. Whatever we eat, whatever we drink, everything is not retained in the body. We have seen again in the Chandogya Upanishad, the food which we eat gets divided into three. The gross food which is not required is thrown out of the body. The subtlest portion of the food go to nourish our mind, and middle portion nourish our muscles. So when the food is not required after it passes through all the intestines and all the rasas from the food is taken out, then the gross food and water which is not required has to be thrown out of this body. If it continues to remain inside, then it will be a problem only. So it has to be thrown out. So in order to throw out, there should be a force which helps in throwing out. So that force is there of prana only, which is present in the organ of excretion and organ of urination. Therefore, with that force, we throw out the excreta and the urine out of the body. So that is apana. It's called apana. So payopaste apanam and chakshusrotre mukhanashikabhyam prana swayam pratisthate. And again, our breath is thrown out of our nostrils and our mouth, and our eyes and ears also function because of the prana only. So prana itself remains in this region, in our nose, in our mouth, in our eyes, in our ears, and throws out things from top and also takes in from top. So we breathe out and we breathe in. We throw out from our mouth and we also can eat with our mouth. With our eyes also we can see things. Ears also we can hear sound. So the prana remains in the upper portion and does all these activities. So prana is there on the top, apana is there at the bottom. But both these forces also need to be balanced. Otherwise, there will be total chaos. Both the outgoing and incoming forces of prana have to be balanced properly, held properly. If only if the apana itself start to functioning without any control, then we will have dysentery and all. Or the prana keep on vomiting and all. So the prana and apana are balanced, held together in the center near our nabhi by the vayu called samana. So samana balances this prana and apana. So madhe to samanaha. So samana is in between. And samana also helps in digesting the food which we eat and distributing this food properly to every part of the body. So madhe tu samanaham esha hi etat hutam annam samam nayati. Whatever food we eat is the essence of that food is taken to all the places equally properly. Therefore, this vayu is called saman. So, esha hi etad utam annam samam nayati tasmat eta saptarchisho bhavanti. So, the energy which is created when we have this food and which is harnessed by this samana is sent to all places and it goes up into our face also, and because of that energy all our senses on the face they function. So the fire which is created by this energy as though comes out and just comes out of these senses in the form of seven fires. Saptarchishaha, Archishaha, seven fires. Two fires from our eyes, two fires from our ears, two fires from our nostril, one fire from our mouth. The fire comes out. Just imagine that when we eat food, it goes into the stomach and the saman vayu digests it and takes out that energy. That energy is like the fire, which when fire always comes upwards, it comes up and it comes out through the senses, through the eyes, ears, nose. Shankaracharya has written a beautiful commentary. Let us read his commentary. Payopaste Payuscha upasthascha payupastham tasmin apanam atmabedam mutra purishadi apanayanam kurvan tishtati sannidatte. So the apan remains there down to excrete and to urinate, the power to force out. See, just like we have our, what we call nowadays, we use a vacuum cleaner. The vacuum cleaner can not only suck in the dust and all particle, but if you just change the setting little bit, then it can also throw out air forcefully. It can throw out air. So similarly, this prana, it can take in and it can throw out. It can create a balance. It can circulate. It can evolve. So all these activities of the pranas, the five pranas are explained here in detail. So tatha chakshusrotre chakshuscha shrotrancha chakshusrotram tasmin chakshuhu shrotre mukhanasikaabhyam cha mukham cha nasika cha tabhyam mukhanasikaabhyam cha nirgachan pranaha swayam samrat staniya. So swayam prana, who is like a king, who remains in our nose, our eyes, our ears, and does the activity of throwing things out and picking up from the top. So pratisthate, pratitishthati, madhe tu pranapanayoho stanayor nabhyam samano ashitam pitam cha samam nayati iti. And in between, in our nabhi, the prana and apan is kept in balance, and whatever we eat and whatever we drink, it is then carried to all the various parts equally, properly. Esha hi yasmad yad etad hutam bhuktam pitam cha atmarnam prakshiptam annam samam nayati. Tasmad Ashita Pita Indhanat Agnehi Audaryat Desham Hridaya Desham Prapta Eta Sapta Sankhya Archisho Deeptayo Nirgachantyo Bhavanti Shishnaha. So whatever food we eat, whatever water we drink, that creates that fire, and from that from our hridaya, this fire then goes out into the various senses in the form of fire coming out of our eye, ears, nose, etc. So pranadvara darshana shravanadi lakshana rupadi vishaya prakasha iti abhiprayaha. So all this functioning of the eyes, of seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, is because of the energy which is supplied by prana. If there is no energy, even our eyes are open, we won't be able to see anything. Ears are there, but we are not able to hear anything. Even when we are sleepy and all the pranas, they get withdrawn temporarily from the senses and all, then they don't function. Like we are sitting to listen to pravachan, but we are feeling very sleepy, so ears are open, but the prana energy is withdrawn, so we don't hear anything. We don't understand anything. So it's very interesting actually. The whole thing is explained so beautifully. So now the teacher explained apana, prana, and saman. Two more vayus are still remaining. They're called vyana and udan. They're also very interesting. So we will just chant a mantra and we will see it in detail in the next class. Hridhi yesha atma अत्र एतद् एकशतं नाडीनां तासां शतं शतम् एकैकस्यां द्वासप्ततिः द्वासप्ततिः प्रतिशाखा नाडीसहस्राणि भवन्ति आसु व्यानश्चरति हृदि एष आत्मा अत्र एतद् एकशतं नाडीनां तासां शतं शतम् एकैकस्यां द्वासप्ततिः द्वासप्ततिः प्रतिशाखा नाडी सहस्राणि भवन्ति आसु व्यानश्चरति हृदि हि एष आत्मा. The Atma is remains or is expressing through our hridaya in the heart. ईश्वर सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशेर्जुन तिष्ठति. अहम आत्मा गुडाकेश सर्वभूताशय स्थितः. Atma is in the heart, and from that heart this prana comes, and from that heart the prana moves in various channels. For the movement of the pranas in the body, there are many channels. Through those channels only the prana moves. Just like for the blood, though the blood is present in our entire body, but for the movement of the blood, there are those channels, those veins and arteries and capillaries are there. Through them only the blood moves. If it moves here, there and all, there will be total chaos. Similarly, for the movement of the prana also, there are all this nadi system is there. Channels are there. So there is one main channel, then there are so many other channels. So here the Rishi describes them. He says, Yat atra etat ekashatam nadinam. There are 101 channels are there. And tasam shatam ekaikasyam. And each of them have 100 branches. And again, of all these branches, there are 72,000 more branches. So prati shakha nadi sahasrani द्वासप्तिः द्वासप्ततिः प्रतिशाखा नाड़ी सहस्राणि भवन्ति. So there are 72,000 further nadis are there, branches are there. And in all of them, Vyanascharati, Vyana moves. So Vyana means one who is all pervading. It moves everywhere. Vyana is the most fascinating. It moves throughout the body and it has got its own roots, own system, like the capillaries. Like if you see even a leaf, you find that one straight vein is there and so many branches and so many sub-branches. Like that, the pranas, the Vyana moves. So 101 main nadis, and each of them have again 100 branches, and each of them further have 72,000 branches. So countless, crores of them. And in those, the Vyana moves. More about this we will see in our class on Monday. So till then, you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy, do your work, do your sadhana. Listen to the pravachan again, contemplate, and think of this great wonder. One has to wonder about it. Just like we have that nursery rhyme, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Wonder is a great emotion actually. Wonderment means we don't have any explanation, we don't know, but we can experience it. So you experience your body, you experience this whole miracle, so look at it as a wonder. Then we will understand the greatness of Bhagwan. Okay? See you on Monday. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Bole Siya Ramchandra Bhagwan ki Jai. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.